Super Mario Run is pretty solid for a phone game, but there's still 10 things I'd like to see added or improved to help keep the game fresh for as long as possible. So without further ado, let's go.
Number 10.
So let's talk about Toad Rowley. If you don't know what it is, well, it's one of the 3 game modes in Super Mario Run. The objective is to earn the most points by collecting coins and getting toads to notice you. Now, this is a pretty addicting game mode. I've poured in countless hours already, and Super Mario Run just came out. Now, what's really cool is you can compete against your personal friends online. However, you're only racing their saved time. You aren't playing against them in real time. Wouldn't it be neat if Nintendo added a feature so you could play with your friends in real time? Now, I can see why Nintendo hasn't allowed this. They're probably worried about a lot of lag due to some people potentially being thousands and thousands of miles apart. Well, what if playing Toad Rally in real time could only be done locally? Maybe you would have to be like 30 feet apart, 10 feet apart from the other player, something like that. I feel like adding this would help make this title a more social experience, and it would be fun seeing your friend's reaction after destroying their score. This isn't something I think 100% needs to be in Mario Run, but it would be neat nonetheless.
Number 9.
If there's one thing about this game that I find to be kind of disappointing, it has to be the lack of new music. And that's not to say that what we have is terrible. I mean, the arrangements do sound nice and flow well with each track. But wouldn't it be even better to be able to unlock more music for Super Mario Run? It really doesn't seem that out of the question. I mean, we can already use our in-game coins to unlock new characters, flowers, mushroom houses, blocks, and more. So what would be wrong with adding music? Heck, even just adding an extra song for each themed world would be more than enough. I do feel that if they were to add music at this point in time though, they may charge us for it. That would be a foolish mistake of them to do, since for the full experience, we already have to pay $10. But seeing as Splatoon had free DLC, maybe Super Mario Run will get the same treatment. Who knows?
Number 8.
So this is going to sound a bit crazy, but just hear me out for a second. If there's one thing that's special about Mario Run, it's that this endless runner game has care and thought put into it. There isn't any randomly generated terrain, but actual levels that were tested thousands of times over to make sure that they were fun and playable. But what if Super Mario Run had its own version of an endless mode? Now, I don't think if they were to make this, that the levels would have terrain that's randomly generated. Perhaps what could happen in this endless mode is that 1 or 2 of the levels we already have are selected. Then, the player goes through and collects coins and all that jazz, you know, like usual. But the level itself constantly loops and gets faster and faster each time. I think playing a mode where the levels could get to an insanely fast speed would be a great way to test a player's skill, and it could be a blast for the more experienced players.
Number 7.
In Super Mario Run, we were given 2 measly power-ups, the mushroom and the star. Now, it's really not that surprising that we only got these 2, seeing as this game is supposed to be more simplified and whatnot. You wanna know what though? I'd love to see Nintendo throw in a couple more power-ups anyway. Even if it were just a fire and ice flower, I'd be happy with those 2 choices. Now, like running, these power-ups could be used automatically, so the player would have to time when the fireball or ice ball is used to their advantage. As long as the game doesn't spam the fire or ice balls, I don't see this as an overpowering ability at all. This could be another way to have even more fun with the core game. I couldn't really see other power-ups in the game though. Most of the other ones are too complicated for something like this.
Number 6.
So we've got a pretty decent character roster for a phone title. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Toadette, and Yoshi. Fans have been clamoring for even more characters, and so am I. It's great that Super Mario Run not only added all 6 of these characters, but they all play slightly different as well. How awesome would it be to have Rosalina as a character? Her special ability could be a small double jump, so similar to Yoshi's, but she wouldn't gradually slow down from her descent. Or what about Wario? I mean, everyone loves that dude. Maybe he could have some sort of tackle move where he could just run through certain bricks. And of course, how can I not mention the almighty, the legendary Waluigi as well? Now, to be quite honest, I don't know what unique attribute he could have as a character, and I feel bad about that too, but I don't want to involve him using a tennis racket or something because that would just look stupid. So to you watching, if Waluigi were in Super Mario Run, let me know in the comments what special move he could have in the game.
Number 5.
Nintendo never ceases to amaze me. They've announced the Switch, a handheld console hybrid that has the potential to be the next biggest product on the gaming market. And now they've got huge phone games like Pokemon Go and Super Mario Run, making them millions and millions of dollars. So, with all of this success and moving forward, you would think that they would get rid of something so simple. And what am I talking about? Those goddamn friend codes. Why on earth do I have to put in a friend code to add my friend, Nintendo? What year is this, 2006? I'm not sure how Nintendo could do this, seeing as Mario Run is already out, but if there's a way for them to update this app so we can just search usernames instead of friend codes, that would be quite grand. Having a username and a handle is all they need to do. That's a super easy system. Do what Twitter does, Nintendo. Seriously, you'll thank me later.
Number 4.
I'd say that the World Tour overall is a nice relaxing experience for those that played the whole thing. There were a few new things that bothered me about it though, one being that there's only 2 different types of bosses in the whole game. Bowser and Boom Boom. Now again, I know this is just the phone app and it's supposed to be simplified, but we can't even get like 5 different bosses? Why can't we get a new one for each world at least? It doesn't even really have to be that complicated. Just throw in Pom Pom and a couple of the Koopalings and that would be enough. Now of course, ideally I'd want a brand new boss for each world, but sadly I don't even expect that from Nintendo at this point. Is that a bad thing to think? It probably is. I should have higher expectations. Anyway, please throw in some new bosses, Nintendo. That is if you add...
Number 3.
New levels, of course. Now, when I say new levels for World Tour, I'd also like to see new themes as well. There was a couple of the big themes that are usually in the new Super Mario Bros. Series that didn't make it into Super Mario Run. A couple of these include the ice and water worlds. Like, where were those? Perhaps they're saving them for later, but regardless, I'd love to see a couple new worlds with those themes. The ice physics for the ice worlds would make for a slippery experience, seeing as you only move in one direction, and same for water. In fact, I think playing Mario Run in a water world would be really challenging. So let's see some DLC, Nintendo, and hopefully it's free with those that already spent $10 on the game.
Number 2.
And now I'm gonna be addressing Super Mario Run's 2 biggest flaws and how they can be fixed. The first one being that this is an online-only game. This personally hasn't affected me, but for those that have crappy Wi-Fi or no Wi-Fi at all, don't have a chance to experience this game. That has been said 1,000 times already, and I'm sure you're sick of hearing about it. So, what should Nintendo do? Well, firstly, Miyamoto needs to get over the fact that people are gonna pirate his game whether he likes it or not, and second, some of the modes should be offline. Now, I'm not going to say Toad Rally should be offline, because I can see why that one needs to be online so it can gather everyone's times and data and stuff, but for the Kingdom Builder and World Tour, there's really no excuse that we can't play those modes offline. Seriously, Nintendo, you will see a lot more sales if you fix this simple problem. It's either that or less people will play the game, and that's just the straight up truth. So, after reading everyone's comments from my previous Mario Run videos, let's address the number 1 problem I've seen. And now, the number one thing we want Super Mario Run is... $10, folks. Super Mario Run costs $10 for the full game. For someone like myself that's an adult and has a job, spending $10 isn't a big deal, but that isn't the case for a lot of people. In fact, it isn't the case for a large majority of those that want to actually play Super Mario Run. A lot of people either don't have the money for it, their parents won't buy it for them, or they think it's too much for a mobile game. And you know, I can completely understand that. I remember in high school, finding $10 made me feel like I was rich or something. Here's the thing though, it's pretty clear that Nintendo put some money into developing this app. The levels are well thought out and polished, the presentation looks nice, and it looks like it cost Nintendo some money to produce this title. So they can't sell this for free. Well, how about Nintendo drops the price to $5? A $5 price cut might not seem like much, but in the mobile market, that's a huge difference. Of all the phone games I've purchased, I personally never go over $5, aside from Mario Run, but that was a special circumstance. If you want more information about Super Mario Run, check out my review and my parody video on why Super Mario Run triggers you. Drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and leave a comment on what you want Super Mario Run to have in the future. Follow my Twitter and Instagram for updates on videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have an awesome day. Happy holidays, everybody.